Tennis is the focus today. Really excited to talk with Mikkel Zinder. A flying start to the season as Dayton Tennis cruise control. Mikkel, first off, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on an awesome start to the season. Here we are early on in 2025, three-time A10 Player of the Week. What's been the biggest difference from last year to this year?
I think experience, just having that extra year under my belt now, being a sophomore rather than a freshman. I think I know what to expect in these matches. It's just different. I mean, it's a different. I mean, coming in as a freshman, you don't know what to expect.
Well, let's talk about your experience, right?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned how big it's been here in the second year, making that jump from high school to college. How does the game change?
It's a whole different level. It's a completely different level. I mean, high school, it's more. I mean, at least from where I'm from, it's just kind of having fun, and you go out with your friends, and you know, you do what you love. But it's nothing crazy. But here, I mean, every match is a war, pretty much. I mean, it's you fight for your team, and you fight for your coaches, your family back at home, and everything is like every point matters so much. I mean, everything's so. How do I say it? It means more. It just means more.
You mentioned sort of the war. You've been winning most of these battles, which has been really impressive. Didn't get to see action in the fall,
yeah.
But here we are in the spring, yeah. And you're flying. Yeah. I'm guessing that confidence just continues to grow.
I mean, it started against Purdue. I mean, that was my first match in 5.5 months after coming back from a knee injury. So it was just, I didn't really have any expectation. Just went out there and played and ended up playing really well, and it's just kind of rolled ever since then.
You mentioned the injury. Was that the first time that you were looking at an
big
injury for your career?
Yeah, I mean, I've had small injuries, but being out that much, that was my first major injury.
How difficult was it?
It was pretty difficult. I mean, not being able to practice, just kind of watching. I mean, I went to practice every day, but just watch and sit there and do nothing. It was tough, but I got to give a huge shout out to Casey in the strength and conditioning room. I mean, although I wasn't able to do anything with my legs, I think being in there every single day, I went in and did upper body every single day, and it got me into like a mindset where like I ended up going. I went every single day just to do upper body, and ever since then, I go in there now every day to stretch, run, whatever it is to do something, and it's just kind of changed my mindset.
I want to talk about your mindset because, being out with an injury like that, now that you're able to be back on the court, do you think, does something change? I mean, like, do you have a little bit more appreciation?
Yeah, definitely.
Or in being out, do you pick up a couple of things?
No, definitely. I mean, you definitely have an appreciation for how much you miss it. I mean, that was, like I said, that was the first time I missed that much tennis. I mean, I didn't play match for 5.5 months, didn't touch a racket for probably 3 months. And I just, not being out there every practice, I was like, well, I really miss this. Like, seeing other people work really hard, doing sprints, doing, footwork drills, doing everything. It made me miss playing and wanted me to get back out there quicker. And once I got out there, I know I have to give everything I got. I mean, in the short amount of time you have here.
You talk about picking up a racket. I do want to talk about your racket because it's a little different than most. You sort of grip your racket the opposite way?
I think so. Yeah, I didn't really know until I think last year one of my seniors told me. He was like, "Oh yeah, you grip your racket, you're gripped the wrong way." I was like, "That just feels comfortable."
Whatever works.
Yeah, I really didn't know. I could grip my own rackets, but apparently it's backwards, and it's made for a lefty, but it feels comfortable.
Tennis is such a unique sport because I feel like there's stories of sort of people being superstitious. Yeah. Do you fall under that category?
Very little. I mean, just, I have to wear white shoes. That's about it. White grip. And then, use the same ball. That if I win that point, use the same ball. If I lose that point, that ball's not going to be seen.
So let the record know that he said very little and then named all three.
There's 3 things, but there's more. There's more than, I mean, a lot of people are very, very superstitious compared to me. So I think I'm very little compared to others.
What's your first memory of the sport, and how did you get involved in tennis?
First memory, I think I got in. I mean, first memory. I can't really remember the first memory, but I remember playing baseball in my backyard with my dad, just hitting off a tee. And my dad was like, "Oh, yeah, you look like you have a good swing off a backhand, so let's just try tennis."
Oh, wow.
So baseball was kind of the way I got into it.
So baseball is your path to
Yeah.
your tennis career.
Never played baseball though.
And then
Just in my backyard.
just from that swing and hitting something hard,
Yep.
you pick up a tennis ball, and then
It kind of worked.
it just builds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was fascinated. We were talking before we started rolling. You're not that big of a tennis fan.
No.
So amongst asking a question of Nadal, Djokovic, or Federer, do you have an answer to it?
I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd say Federer, but I don't really care. I don't. I only watch. I mean, I rarely watch.
Just occasionally the Grand Slams?
Yeah, just the Grand Slams. That's about it.
That's fair. And I was kind of shocked in that I think a lot of the times you have inspiration of like sort of a player and playing style and sort of feeding off someone else's game. Yours is just kind of from coaching,
Yeah,
right?
just go with what I've been told, pretty much. I mean, growing up, I've had 3 different coaches back at home, 4th here, and just, listen to what they say.
So, which is that's important. With that though, what's your favorite thing about tennis?
It's got to be the competitiveness. I mean, just being out there every single time when you play a match, and the different game styles you see, the different teams, different everything. I mean, every match is different. Nothing is ever going to be the same. And I think just being out there and the drive to win, the competitiveness it's unlike any other.
So now we highlighted that you're not necessarily the biggest tennis fan, but you're a big sports fan.
Very.
What's your favorite sport to watch?
To watch, it's got to be either hockey or football.
Now you're an Eastern PA guy.
Yeah.
I gotta ask this question. Are you still buzzing after the Birds and the Super Bowl victory?
Oh yeah.
So Philadelphia Eagles, your favorite team?
Oh yeah.
And hockey?
Yeah. Love hockey.
Philadelphia Flyers?
Yeah, the Flyers.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever stepped out on the ice?
I have. If I always tell my friends and my family, if there's one sport, if I could play that wasn't tennis, it'd be hockey. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we'll grab some skates.
Yeah.
You don't want to see me out there. Mikkel, I do have to ask another question in sort of your love for sports and being a tennis guy. Have you ever played pickleball?
I have. I hate it. I hate it. It's awful.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I guess this would go off of sort of your team.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty common, right?
Yeah.
Amongst tennis
Yeah,
players,
I think
being
there's some,
big
but
fans.
I'll tell you, we do have a couple of people on our team that love pickleball.
Okay.
Yeah. Not gonna name them, but you know who you are.
Mikkel, really appreciate the time again, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Keep it up
Thank you. I
out on the
appreciate it.
court.
Thank you.